rain is like the world crying.
Oh, I'm so bored. Play a game.
You know what happens when we play games? It just doesn't end well.
Let's play Truth or Dare.
Well, truth. I like truth.
Do you eat your own feces?
Can I say depends?
If you want to be lame, yes.
All right, occasionally I eat my feces, okay? There's the truth.
There it
We
is.
got it. It's all out there.
How hard was
But it's
that?
completely natural. I mean, you've done it. You do it before, too.
I love it. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Right. All right. Truth or dare?
Dare.
I dare you
I'll do it.
to...
Do it.
You don't even know what I'm going to
Doesn't
ask?
matter.
I dare you to fix the windshield wipers while I drive. I'm absolutely serious.
Okay. I'm on my way.
Okay, now you're doing great.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn on the slow windshield wiper.
Okay, it's not moving. I'm gonna try and budget from
There you
the.
go, yeah.
Whoa, there
Hey,
it
look,
is.
you got it working.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, man.
Okay.
You're really good at this.
Can I come back in now?
No, we gotta test the fast speed.
No, you don't have to
Yeah,
test the
we gotta
fast
test
speed.
the fast speed.
Please don't test
I'm
the
gonna
fast
put it on
speed.
the fast
Don't
speed
speed.
now.
Whoa.
You are doing
Whoa,
great.
Whoa.
A plus,
whoa,
man.
Whoa.
I'm gonna check the windshield wiper.
Don't
fluid.
check the windshield wiper.
I'm just gonna check the
It's not-
windshield
it's all
wiper.
good.
I'm just gonna check
the
the wiper.
windshield
fluid.
wiper fluid told me it was fine. Whoa!
Wow, that's a good game.
All right, always good when we have the rodents. Well, we are in the middle of a message series called Backstage Pass. We started it last week. Jason Strand was here, and if you remember, he shared with you guys about the life of Daniel and how it's important for us to have integrity. And that was really great. I'm glad he could be here. Tonight, I want to share with you about the story of a young woman named Ruth. And Ruth is from a group of people called the Moabites. And that's kind of a weird thing to be called, but it makes sense when you know that this group of people was from a place called Moab. So it makes a little bit more sense. The Moabites are from Moab, just like the Israelites from the Bible are from Israel. It makes a little bit more sense when you know that. But Ruth was from this group of people called the Moabites, and this group of people was known especially for worshiping false gods and in general being far from God. She was from this group of people that doesn't know God and is far from him. And the Bible tells us that Ruth gets married to an Israelite. She gets married to somebody that's not from the Moabites, and sadly that after 10 years, her husband dies. And so she's left to live life with her mother-in-law, who's a woman named Naomi. And Naomi's husband, unfortunately, had also passed away. It's kind of a sad beginning to this story. But her family is not being supported by a strong father figure or a man who's out. In that time, the men would go out and farm and earn money and work the jobs to come back and support the family. And unfortunately, there were no men to go out and to raise the money. And so Naomi and Ruth are kind of hanging out. And Naomi says to Ruth, you know, I don't think I can help support you. I don't know what we're going to do here. Why don't you just go back and live with your own family and just be with your own family, worship your own gods, and just do your own thing? And that seems like a pretty logical solution to this problem. Nobody would have blamed Ruth if she had just taken Naomi's advice. It probably would have made sense for her to stay in Moab with her own family, with the people that she knows, and nobody would have blamed her if that's what she would have done. But we read in this story that Ruth does something that we don't expect. Take a look at Ruth, chapter 1, verses 16 and 17. Look at what it says. It says, Ruth replied to Naomi, "Don't ask me to leave you and to turn back. Don't ask me to leave you and turn back. Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Wherever you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord punish me severely if I allow anything but death to separate us." All right, these verses tell us something special about Ruth. They tell us that she has made a choice to stay loyal to Naomi, and eventually that leads her to stay loyal to God as well. She makes a promise to Naomi when it would have been easy for her to go back to her own people, to stay with them, to be with her own family, she makes a promise to stay loyal to Naomi no matter what. She's going to stick by her side. Ruth decides that loyalty to Naomi is something that she wants to do. Now, being loyal, guys, you guys know what it means to be loyal. It can be a very difficult thing. It means showing constant support to something or someone no matter what. That's what it says in the dictionary. When you look up the word loyal, it says to show constant support to something or someone no matter what. When things are going well, it's good and very easy to be loyal. Take the example of maybe a favorite sports team that you have. All right, if your favorite sports team is winning all sorts of games and they're doing well, it doesn't take much energy or effort for you to say, man, I am such a fan of this team. I love them. I watch every game that they play. You tell everybody how big of a fan you are and how much you like the team. But if your favorite team hasn't won a game in weeks, like for instance, okay, I'm a fan of the Milwaukee Brewers because I'm from Wisconsin. I understand that, this is Twins territory, but I'm from Wisconsin. The Brewers, they lost like 8 of their last 10 games. And suddenly it's a lot harder for me to walk around telling people I'm a Brewers fan. Now, they won big last night, so I can tell you I'm a Brewers fan. But it's really difficult when your favorite sports team is doing poorly to walk around wearing their hat or their jersey and to tell everybody that you're a fan. Maybe that's not, maybe you're not a sports person. So think about it in the terms of the people that you hang out with. When the people that you hang out with dress normal, they eat normal foods, they talk normally, and they treat you well, it's not that hard to be friends with them, right? It's pretty easy to be loyal to them, to hang out with them, to stick with them. But if every day someone that you know and like and hang out with comes to school dressed up like a wizard, or if they speak some sort of made-up language, or they tease you and make fun of you all the time, suddenly it's not so easy to be loyal to them. Suddenly it's not so easy to stick with them no matter what. And it becomes a whole lot more difficult to be loyal, to be their friend. I'm going to put a picture up on the side screen. So, well, I'm not going to do it. They're going to do it in back. I just wanted to be honest with you. There it is. How many of you know what this is? It's a phaser. It's a phaser from Star Trek. I know everybody here knew that, right? Yeah, I'm sure everybody knew. Okay, what it is it's a made-up weapon from the future. It doesn't exist. It's never, never actually existed. It was just on a TV show. It's a made-up weapon from the future. But when I was in high school, I had a really good friend. We were very close friends, and we hung out all the time. Everything was cool. We went to the same church. We hung out after school. We had a lot of the same friends. Everything was great. But then one day, out of the blue, my friend shows up to high school. He's a sophomore in high school, and he shows up with this phaser. And he's carrying it around, and, it wasn't Halloween. It wasn't dress-up day. It wasn't, like bring your crazy phaser thing to school day. It wasn't any sort of special occasion. He just shows up to school with this phaser, and he carries it around. And everybody kind of looked at him funny. And I was like, why are you carrying a phaser around? And he's like, I like Star Trek. And then I was like, okay. And suddenly, it became a lot more difficult to be loyal to this friend. And as if that wasn't enough, he would take it out and point it at people and make noises from his mouth. I mean, suddenly, it is a lot more difficult to be loyal to this friend of mine, because if I'm loyal to this guy, if I stick with him, if people know that he's my friend, I'm going to be known as the friend of the phaser guy. Who wants to be known as the friend of the phaser guy? I wasn't sure I wanted to sign up for that. All right, now, I was loyal to my friend, phaser and all, but that situation made being loyal to him a lot more difficult. Made it way, way more difficult to be his friend. He doesn't still carry the phaser, just so you know. Now, I think the same thing is true for Ruth in her situation. It was a difficult choice for Ruth to stay loyal to Naomi because of the circumstances. All right, think about it. She's far away from the rest of her family. She no longer has a husband. She just lost her husband. She doesn't have anyone to provide for her. And so choosing to stay loyal to Naomi is going to mean putting in a lot of hard work and effort. And the same was true about her choice to be loyal to God. All right, Ruth had grown up in a different culture where people worshiped different gods. But she had come to know, she had seen and now understood that this was the one true God. And so she had chosen that she was going to be loyal to him too. That takes a lot of guts to be different from the people that you grew up with, to believe something different than the rest of your family believes. It's something that we can learn from. Ruth's decision to be loyal to other people and to God is something that we can learn from. Each of us has choices that we make each day as it comes to being loyal to people in our own lives. We have the choice. Are we going to stick with people through thick and thin when things get difficult, when things get hard, or are we going to go looking for greener grass somewhere else? Take a look at